we are really in a very, very difficult situation. I think that what impresses me most is there is kind of mode in which this country and the people and the citizens of this country are willing to resist, and to which extent this is a courageous and sacrificial motivation. As the kind of war as the war unfolds, we are observing really truly heroic acts.
And we do understand that the ultimate goal is eliminating Ukraine as a sovereign country, and people for whom freedom is a real value, the value people are ready to die for. And again, we can see for the last 2 days dozens of examples similar to what Volodymyr was referring to. Something that will build, I believe, not just the history of our country, but the history globally.
We are planning a big project which is called Punish Putin, which actually means bringing Putin into the international tribunal for the crimes against humanity and for the war crimes he is conducting. Not only in Ukraine, he has conducted them in Syria, in Central African Republic, in Georgia, and in many other places around the world. What we need right now is a powerful board of people capable of speaking of clear voice. Evil should be named and evil should be taken to court.
He said, at the international level, he said the Holy See must do everything that it can ecumenically to hold Christian leaders together, to enable humanitarian aid, and to engage peace talks between politicians. In doing so, church diplomats should have 3 main objectives, he says. First one is to ease the suffering in Ukraine and enable church-based aid. Second objective, to ensure ecumenical cooperation in Ukraine on justice and peace. And third one is to prevent escalation of the war beyond Ukraine.
What I'm thinking about now in the United States is how do we persuade people concretely, our students, other Americans, American politicians, as well as Europeans, that Ukraine's destiny is our destiny, and that we are not going to be able to escape this. We do not live in a world in which we can simply select out crises that we don't like.
Basically reiterate what I already expressed yesterday in the writing, that first, solidarity. Second, shame for the world that has left Ukraine completely alone, outgunned, outbombed, to face the evil empire. It's true that now the West is united after the fact, but that they had to wait so long, and that they didn't act first, much more could have been done. For this, I'm very, very shameful. And also for so many Western intellectuals that have fallen for Russian propaganda and Putin propaganda. Before it was the left, of course, philo-Soviet, philo-Russian, but now it's the right wing everywhere, the populists everywhere who are philo-Russian.
And I just want to say for us here, it has been a real shock. And by real, I mean, this is a country with a face for us. And on the day the invasion happened, we got many messages from our fellows. I find it, and many of my colleagues find it, really, really inspiring and humbling how our friends at UKU and the Ukrainian people are responding to the situation. So this testimony of faith and this testimony to the power of prayer is really inspiring. Witness to the truth going on here that will have a huge impact on all of us. Thank you so much for your testimony of faith and your inspiration. It makes us very humble. It makes the Christian faith very, very real. Thank you.
I think the best thing that those of us in a position to get information and sane commentary out to the public can do is to do exactly that. The disinformation campaign, the nonsense on various news outlets, websites, et cetera, has got to be rebutted. It is not without significance that the Ukrainian Orthodox Church Moscow Patriarchate has belatedly but really condemned the invasion. It is not our business to foster unity between the Patriarchate of Moscow and the Orthodox communions of Ukraine. Kirill and Hilarion are agents of Russian state power. It's time that everybody recognize that and stop pretending that there is some kind of ecumenical dialogue possible with people who are state agents long before they're churchmen. I have no patience with the Patriarchate of Moscow in this business, and neither should any of the rest of us.
Regarding what George was saying, I just got off a 1-hour conversation in which the head of our church, Sviatoslav, participated and offered his requests. We're creating what would be called the Ukrainian Catholic Crisis Media Center, which will be kind of an informal network, the goal of which will be to share and spread information by writing, translating, collecting good texts, and finding good speakers to do, basically what George said needs to be done. Ukrainian soldiers are putting up quite a fight, and there's outstanding, monumental acts of heroism and sacrifice. I myself am in Paris right now, going to the liturgy with Bishop Halib, who is with me. It's nonstop speaking with reporters or with other people. The head of the French Bishops' Conference was at our cathedral yesterday. I think Ukraine and the university communities of Ukraine really need the solidarity of the global university community. And maybe it would be possible for our partners to adopt individual faculties of our university, bringing students together, bringing faculty members together, and then become retranslators of what these encounters kind of reveal. I pray for a miracle. We've lived miracles together. Your community, your fellowship, the Ukrainian Catholic University, it's a miracle. I mean, it's really a miracle. And the Lord will not stop doing great things for his people. So thank you, and God bless you all.
Some people in the West overestimate the strength of Russia and underestimate the strength of Ukraine. In this case, too many politicians will propose that the neutral status of Ukraine will be the best golden mean to put an end to the so-called Ukrainian crisis. But this is exactly what Putin officially demanded at the beginning. So in this case, Putin will win. So be aware of that. Another illusion is that Putin will stop at Polish borders. However, he won't stop demanding that NATO returns to its position before 1989. He did actually that a few weeks ago. And be sure he will do that if he restores the control over Ukraine. So let me finish with a citation, the famous citation of Benjamin Franklin. And I love this citation. Those who are ready to give up essential liberty to obtain a temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. So let me change one word here. Those who are ready to give up essential values to obtain a temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
But it is colonialism. And there is another attempt to restore that colonial empire. And the approach to the Soviet Union must also be different, because the Soviet Union is a sort of paradoxical attempt to prolong the existence of this colonial empire, 19th century type colonial empire. So there is still colonialism in Europe. And we must see also what's happening today in Ukraine, with Ukraine, from that standpoint. At least it seems to me that there might be some possibility to let academics and broader society, of course, in the West, alert and to the problems that are at stake.
We continue to be surprised that Western politicians have been surprised with what Putin has been doing. Like the French president, I think even today, said that Putin was not frank with him when they were talking about things that just happened. Anyway, it's just a word of support, moral and spiritual support here. Yesterday evening, we had a special mass for peace in Ukraine in our university church, celebrated by the rector and a group of priests. What we hear now that thousands of people are at the border between Ukraine and Poland, trying to cross the border and come here. And as the government said, we too, our university and local authorities here, governments in this part of the country, are ready to receive everybody and help and assist in every possible way. We should remember that, as John Paul II once said, we have to believe and have to remember that the last word will be peace, whatever happens.